Good morning. I'm now that far in, if I can see, there. So I've got 17 hours to go. Now, I'm not in a very good mood. And the reason I'm not in a very good mood is because I did 8.5 hours on this project yesterday. And I got fighting, and I got hostage risk, I got the whole thing working, essentially. Low level, but working. But check this out. Well, let's launch the project for a second. Okay, I won't keep you in suspense. It's crashed. It's crashed because of the AI perception component. But that's not really the problem, because you'd be thinking, that's fine. Just roll back to a backup then, Mike. I didn't take any backups. I didn't take any backups. What a stupid, ridiculous thing to do, or not to do. Let's watch this. Get rid of you, we're not doing anything VR, thanks very much. 93%, bang! Unreal process has crashed UE4 Tactical AI. Now, the thing I want to make clear is that this is a silly thing for me to have done because of this massive folder here. Look at that. Got all of these backups. These are all serial link, and notice the numbers on them. Up to 201. That was hang on a minute. 203 yesterday, right? Every single time that I work on that project, I copy the project, and then I work on it, right? And then I leave it behind in another folder, and then I copy it over, and I work on it again. Why didn't I do that here? Where's the camera there? Hi, how are you? I'm gutted, honestly. I'll just talk briefly about where the last video that I posted is how far I got video evidence for, right? But this cup genuinely came from New York. There you go. I had a system. I had a hostage, and then I wonder if I can change the size of this little screen in real time. I doubt it. But let's have a look. Oh, there we go. That's better, isn't it? So I had a hostage. I had bad guys, and they each had their own controllers, and they each had their own behavior trees. And I was inheriting the controllers, so that what I was doing was, on the AI perception component, there's an update event that's thrown every time it perceives something that's registered as a stimulus. And so I set up a human character that hostage could descend from, and then a soldier, and then an operator and a bad guy, right? So then the same sort of thing happened with the AI controller. I've just noticed I've moved onto the screen. As you can tell, my video editing skills are just amazing. Anyway, so I come up with this smart idea, which I thought was smart, but it's probably the reason for that crash, although it was working, of having an interface that that we could use when the human AI perception component, or the AI perception component that was registered to the human AI controller that everything else is descended from. Every time it saw something that was a registered stimulus, we could just call an interface message. That's it. So we go, hey, is it another soldier? Yeah, I've seen a soldier. Is it a door? I've seen a door. So that means that in all the classes that descended from it, we could put the implementations in for the interfaces, right? The interface events. That meant that we wouldn't have to override the AI perception, I forget what it's called now, on target perception update, something like that. We wouldn't have to put an implementation of that into every single, in the lowest level classes that we're making. We wouldn't have to do that. We could do it all at the top, and it would just throw messages and say, hey, I've seen a door, hey, I've seen a bad guy, hey, I've seen an operator, I've seen a hostage. There was 5 things that they saw. So they saw operators, hostages, bad guys, clearance nodes, and doorways. Right? They are the 5 things that could be perceived. And then they were just throwing interface messages around, and that was fine. So then they had I built a fighting branch to the tree. Excuse me, it's not very well. And all that did, we just had a couple of tasks on it, and it was, while you're fighting, pause, stop all movement. I mean, I didn't have any animations or anything, but you can imagine I've stopped movement. I've seen this guy. Delays for whatever the aim lead time I decided to call it was going to be, which for the operators was half a second, and for the terrorists was 2 seconds, right, to give the operators the upper hand just while I was testing. And then they just draw at the last moment after that delay had finished. They English is my first language, I promise. They would do a quick check to see if, hey, am I still alive, or have I in the meantime been killed? Because this is just a delay, right? It's going to fire anyway, even if I'm killed. So am I still alive? And a quick line trace to say, do I still have line of sight on the thing that I think I'm killing? And then if both of those things come back true, the other guy just ragdolled, and I popped a little bit of force on his head bone, and it looked really cool. He was like, snap, off, and down he went. So it started to look really cool. Obviously there were holes in the logic because there's robustness that was needed that wasn't there. You know, what if one of the operators dies? Well, then the room clearance system fell apart a bit. So there was a load of sort of, we need to deal with that as it goes along. But I think for however many hours that is, 31 hours worth of development, I'd got really far. And I had the essentials of what this is about. So I've got the insertion zone, the stacking, the room clearing. They could spot terrorists, they could kill the terrorists, or the bad guys I called them. They could spot a hostage, then they would clear the room, having dealt with all those things. When they were stacking back up on the door, the hostage would join them, and then they'd make their way out to the extraction zone. You're going to have to take my word for it, because much crashing. So, I've already tried to launch a new project and pull all the assets into it, hoping that would sort it out, but that project crashed immediately. No, sorry, it didn't crash immediately. I tried to drag a room actor out, and that crashed the editor immediately. So I suspect it's because the room actor can be referenced. Actually, no, I'm not sure. Probably because I'm not sure how that would link to the AI perception component, if that even was the problem. The reason I suspect it is because there was an issue where the guys approaching a room that they were clearing, they see the door. They see the door, they see the door, they get in, they do all their business, they clear all the nose, but on the way back towards the door, they're no longer registering that they've seen the door, which is a problem, because seeing the door was the trigger to stop moving and check, can all my other teammates see the door? And if they can all see the door, great, then open up another branch on the tree. I think we're stacking again, we're moving to a new stack location on the new room, right? But because they weren't seeing the door, they were just going to the door as their target location and just all huddling at exactly where the door was. But then in testing, we could see the door before we went in the room, and then we couldn't see the door, and I hadn't changed the door, I hadn't changed anything. So something's gone wrong somewhere, obviously, but it was going wrong in the game first. And then what I did was I thought, well, I'll save it all, I'll close it all down, and restart it. Great. Well, upon restart, I got what I just showed you there, which was not good. Oh, and by the way, I've just noticed on my desktop that is a cool little game done by one of the guys on my course. I forgot his name. It's not Jamie. What? I've forgotten, but it's called Alexa Run, and it's a lot of fun. It's really good. I really liked it. It's a 48-hour game jam. This went a lot better than my 48-hour game jam. Anyway, Jason. His name's Jason, and his surname begins with a T. I think he's from Canada. Not that anyone's watching these videos, but whatever. Right, well, I'm going to go and try and rebuild this project because I've got 17 hours left. So I'm going to see if I can pull out what I can, and I might go for a rapid rebuild. What I might do, in fact, is scrap all that. I'll have a go and see if I can recover it first, right? And if I can't, I'm going to concentrate on EQS. I'm not going to do the tactical clearance thing. I'm just going to concentrate on EQS. I'm going to do some EQS tests, and I'm going to see what I'm left with. But I tell you this, I've got plenty to reflect on. Suddenly, source control has become my big deal. Yeah, learning how source control works. So, honestly, I'm very disappointed, but never mind. If you watched, thanks a lot.